Alright, so this weekend, Floyd Mayweather is going to be going up against Conor McGregor in arguably the biggest boxing match of the century. It's only 2017, so it's quite a statement, right? And there are numerous things that can be learned from these two fighters, but three things in particular are really worth noting when it comes to business that you can learn from those two guys as individuals, but also together as well. I want to just cover these three things because if you're running a business of your own, especially nowadays, it's important to be aware of these things. So the first lesson or thing you can learn comes from Floyd Mayweather, actually, which is his huge appreciation for the media. Now, what I mean by this is that he recognizes more specifically that there's huge value in being in the media. Now, he recognizes on top of that ideally people talk about you in a positive way, sure, but what he wants is for people to always be talking about him. And this is essential in business. What you need to understand, especially if you're starting out, it's not just about seeing great things in the media about you and your business. It's not just about the accolades and the awards and the great deals you've done. If you have negativity in the press as well, you're still being covered. And this is the point. Mayweather goes out of his way. If you look at it, he actually goes out of his way to thank all the media. And he often says things along the lines of, look, even if people portray me in a bad way, all that matters is that the people I love keep hearing about me and keep knowing about me and keep seeing me. And that's what matters, because when you're in the public eye and when people keep hearing about you, it means you're on people's radar. And that's a good thing, because then people check you out and that can only lead to potentially new opportunities. Sure, people might think about you negatively, but every single time they say something negative about you, they're still talking about you. I had this the other day. It's not quite on the same scale as Floyd Mayweather, right? But, you know, someone was being negative about me on a post and someone sent me a message and said, did you see what this guy wrote? And I'm thinking, this is brilliant, because of the engagement that guy gave me. It helped boost my post a little bit more, because this stupid guy decided to write right after I'd done a post. It helped the actual post do better, because it's obviously getting engagement, so Facebook loved it. So think about that. Any attention is good attention. Ideally, it's positive, but don't worry if you get some negative attention. People are talking about you, and that's what matters. Let's flip over to McGregor, and there's a really important lesson, I think, and something that many people don't really know about, is that Conor McGregor has always carried his grandfather's hat in his bag. And what this is like, it's a reminder for him of his roots. He used to be, I think he was on welfare at one point, but he was a plumber's apprentice, which he then gave up to obviously then pursue a career in fighting. But he came from no money at all, and his roots are what was important to him. And one of my mentors, a self-made millionaire, once said to me, what you must always do, especially when things are going really well and when you're starting to get sales and you're starting to get attention, is never forget where you came from. Keep the integrity and the essence of what you're about, because that's the thing that people fall in love with to begin with. That's the thing that actually got you to where you are, and those values shouldn't be forgotten. And for McGregor, what I really respect is that he's bearing that in mind. He's not shunning his roots, he's actually remembering them, and it keeps him humble when he needs to be. I think that's something to bear in mind as well. So keep yourself grounded, don't get too big for your boots. There's always a bigger guy, arguably not so much after this fight, but it's important to understand that whatever your roots are, don't forget them. Think about the good values you've got and try and maintain those, because your integrity is all important at the end of the day. And then there's a third thing I want to talk about, which is actually something that both of them are exhibiting here. And this is something that's interesting to look at, but it's essential when it comes to building a business, and that is the money. Okay, this is a huge fight. This is worth hundreds of millions. Both fighters tend to be talking a lot about money. And the thing is, the hype is what the money's all about. Okay, the money, the amount they're going to make, Conor McGregor, for instance, making $75 million on this fight, it's, for them, the money is obviously important, but it's important to build the hype. For them, personally, it's not about the money. They are not doing this for the money, okay? Once upon a time, when when there's no money in the bank account, of course, the likes of Conor McGregor has to make his money to put his food on the table. And we all have been there. But it's important to understand that if you're in a business where you're always making it about money, unless it's because you're trying to put the food on the table because you're broke, and even then, it's not about the money, is it? It's about putting food on the table for your family, for instance, or whatever. There's actually a different agenda. If it's about just making $1 million, just because, you're probably not going to be as successful because you're focusing on the wrong thing. For these two guys fighting, money is being used to generate the hype. It had to be a lot of money because it helps build the hype and gets people interested. And of course, it will help with pay-per-view and things like that. But for them, they would do it for free if it meant that they would win. They are only caring about the the win of it itself, of actually beating that person. That's all that matters. Is legacy. Is as simple as that. And money you can always get more of, but reputation is all important, and results are what matter. So learn that as well. Just think to yourself, if you're making it about making money only, you're being quite hollow. As a business, you should be looking for something broader than that. It should be something a bit more ethereal, something a bit more emotional, and as a result you will make more money because you're tapping into the thing that you have a deeper passion for. Okay, I'd be interested to hear your comments on this. I'd be really interested to see what you think about Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather as the fight, who's going to win, but also what have you learned from them for yourself personally, but also for your business. If you liked this video, please share and like it, but also go ahead and subscribe as well. And yeah, it's a really exciting one. It'll be interesting to see who actually fights. I don't know how to call it. It's difficult. I'm an English guy. I actually have Irish heritage. You can probably tell by the red hair. So I kind of have to go with McGregor. He's a bit of an underdog as well, given that he has gone out there. He's the guy who's gone to do boxing as opposed to the other way around. So it'd be nice to see him win in that respect. But at the same time, there's so much charisma about Mayweather. Who's going to set? Who knows? So I'd be interested to see your thoughts. But look. Whatever happens, I hope it's an exciting fight. I'm sure it will be. But bear those three things in mind. There's a lot that can be learned from the sporting world in business. And I think that there's some great things in there with these two warriors. Take care, and good luck to both Mayweather and McGregor.